Before coming to our main topic, which is about suboccipital triangle, you should know the muscles that are forming the boundaries of suboccipital triangle. So these muscles are called suboccipital muscles. Suboccipital muscles consist of rectus capitis posterior minor, rectus capitis posterior major, oblique capitis superior, oblique capitis inferior. First of all, let us discuss about the origin and insertion of rectus capitis posterior major muscle. Rectus capitis posterior major muscle originates from the spinous process of the axis vertebrae. Axis is the second cervical vertebrae, first is atlas. So, rectus capitis posterior major muscle originate from the spinous process of the axis and is inserted into the area just below the inferior nuchal line. I have drawn external occipital protuberance. This is superior and inferior nuchal lines. So as you can see in the diagram that rectus capitis posterior major muscle originates from the spinous process of axis vertebrae and is inserted into the lateral part of the area just below the inferior nuchal line. When one side rectus capitis posterior major muscle acts, it turns the chin towards the same side. When both side rectus capitis posterior major muscle acts, they basically extend the head. So these are the actions of rectus capitis posterior major muscle. Now let us discuss about the origin insertion of rectus capitis posterior minor muscle. Rectus capitis posterior minor muscle originates from the posterior tubercle of the atlas vertebrae. Atlas vertebrae is the first cervical vertebrae. And this muscle is inserted on the middle part of the area just below the inferior nuchal line, as you can see in the diagram. Rectus capitis posterior minor muscle extends the head. Oblique capitis superior muscle originates from the transverse process of the atlas vertebrae, which is the first cervical vertebrae, and this muscle is finally inserted into the lateral part of the area between the superior and inferior nuchal lines. Oblique capitis superior muscle is also called superior oblique muscle, and if we talk about its action, it extends the hand on and also flexes the head laterally. Oblique capitis inferior muscle, which is also called inferior oblique muscle, originates from the spinous process of the axis vertebrae, which is a second cervical vertebrae, and is inserted on the transverse process of the atlas vertebrae, which is the first cervical vertebrae. Inferior oblique muscle turns the chin towards the same side. All these suboccipital muscles that consist of rectus capitis posterior minor muscle, rectus capitis posterior major muscle, oblique capitis superior muscle, oblique capitis inferior muscle. These muscles, they are innervated by suboccipital nerve or dorsal ramus of C1. I have drawn atlas vertebrae that has anterior arch and posterior arch. This is vertebral artery and this is first cervical nerve C1. As you can see in the diagram that C1 divides into dorsal ramus and ventral ramus. Dorsal ramus basically emerges between the vertebral artery and posterior arch, as you can see over here. This is dorsal ramus of C1, and this dorsal ramus of C1 soon divides to supply suboccipital muscles. So over here, this is again vertebral artery. This is posterior arch of atlas vertebrae, and this is dorsal ramus of C1. As you can see in the diagram that dorsal ramus of C1 soon divides into different branches to supply rectus capitis posterior minor muscle, rectus capitis posterior major muscle, rectus oblique capitis superior muscle, oblique capitis inferior muscle. It also gives a communicating branch to the greater occipital nerve. With black dotted line, I have drawn greater occipital nerve. So dorsal ramus is also giving a communicating branch to the greater occipital nerve. So dorsal ramus of C1 basically innervates the suboccipital muscle and splenius capitis muscle.